What a maneuver!
Hello friends, it's Brett again with another Ace Maneuvers deck list here for you. So I fiddled with some settings. Hopefully the video quality of this recording is going to be a whole lot better than the past couple of videos that I've put out. Maybe you'll actually be able to read the text on the cards that I'm pulling up on screen here. As to the overall format of this video, I actually received mixed reviews either way on both my videos. Some of you liked the longer format videos where I sort of build something from the ground up. Some of you liked the shorter deck list breakdown. So whenever I'm recording a video, I'm just going to decide what I'm doing in the moment. And for this one, I'm actually going to do it from the ground up here for you, because honestly, while I have been thinking about this character, I haven't exactly put pen to paper just yet. I sort of have an idea of where I want to take the deck, so I'm sort of already pre-informed there. But for numbers and stuff, and especially the attack lineup, it's going to be a lot of thought process here. So this is probably going to be a bit of a longer video. I'll try to make up for that later in the week with a shorter video for you to fly through on your lunch break or something. So today, we are going to be doing who I think is either the best or second best character in the format, depending on whether or not you like to be aggressive or you like to be controlling. It can go either way. But we're actually going to be doing Eraserhead here. Aizawa, he's a total bro. If you looked at my Ida video, I commented on characters who can flex offensively and defensively. And Eraserhead plays some of the most universes in the entire format. Both of his abilities are on both turns. You can use them offensively, you can use them defensively. He's a very, very versatile character. And just the fact that he gets to be on automatically, he gets to automatically put an erase in his discard pile to start his game plan, compared to someone like Tokoyami who needs to find his summon Dark Shadow, just makes him even better because he's always ready to go as soon as he needs an erase. So we're going to build Eraserhead here. And if you saw my symbol selection earlier here, we are going to be building him off Void. So we've got one Eraserhead in there. We are going to slide on over, find his erases here. And some people are asking, why would I ever play more than one erase in the deck? Well, yes, you are going to have one erase in your discard pile, but this card actually does things other than just turning off their character when you need their character turned off. It turns off problems in the opponent's staging area, say Specialist of Sound, or You're So Obvious out of All Might's kit. Say you're trying to make a very, very large, very, very fast Recipro burst. Suddenly that's not so large or so fast. Or say you're just doing something huge with Nomu, and you need to protect yourself from an apathetic flip or something. Erase can do that for you. It also fuels Night Watch, which is definitely going in this deck. Being able to shut off anyone in hands you want, even at a steep cost of removing an erase, is game-changing. Not to mention, it's just got good stats. It's got Breaker 1, it's good defensively, it's got a +1 mid-block. It's always worth playing extra copies of this card, just so you have access to the options, instead of just constantly discarding it to -2 speed or +2 speed, or just shutting off their character constantly. You want the options, so you're going to play more than one. Do you play 4? No, I don't think you play 4 because it can get kind of clunky at times. But I do think you definitely pay 3 because you're going to want to be able to remove copies of it to Night Watch. So we're going to put 3 in there. And now, since this is a control deck, we're going to check our assets here, just as a good habit. There's no void assets here, so we can just skip that. But since this is a control deck, I'm going to want to start with the foundation base, because I think that's more important in a control deck than the attacks. When you're trying to kill someone, again, you can sort of just kill someone with your right synergies. Obviously, you want a synergistic attack base, but you care more about not dying and controlling the opponent properly than how you're going to kill them. Or at least that's the question I ask myself. Is my foundation base going to let me live If not, well, I should probably just go back to the drawing board. So we're going to get our foundations, we're going to get our void symbol, and we're going to do what I do best. We're going to sort by difficulty 3, and we get coordinated effort. This card is insane. Hard commit, after your blocked attack resolves, build it face down. It's +1 on resources, you get an extra foundation when they block. It's -1 progressive difficulty, so if you're trying to combo string them out, it gives you that -1 progressive. It blocks really well. And this deadlock enhance is actually super crucial to Aizawa's game plan. There are going to be games where the opponent just sits there and stares at you and you stare at them, and there is a combination you can assemble in the My Hero Academia only format that just instantly wins you the game if the opponent can't interact with it. So we're going to put 2 coordinated efforts in. We might go up to 3 because you do want to see it, but I'm going to start with 2 for space concerns. We're going to scroll on down to the zeros on Void here. Now, I've seen a lot of people playing Gotcha here. I don't quite like Gotcha that much, but it's our only 0, so I'm going to make note of it. It's also a +2 low block, which is really great, so it doesn't hurt to start with it in your deck, and we can always cut it later. On to our 1 difficulties here. We've got Manly Passionate Guy. I don't think this card is super important. It's not contributing overall to what Aizawa is going to be looking to do. It's great for tempo because you get to build a foundation, but it's got a +3 low block, and we've already got tape as a low block to start. We are definitely going to be playing 4 copies of resistance, though. -2 damage on the opponent's next attack is a great rattlesnake ability, where you're just sort of, doing the hand gesture, come on, at the opponent. Attack me, it's not going to matter on this next one. It's got Breaker 1, and it's got an anti-stun ability. And anti-stun in this format, while the stuns in this format aren't going to be getting up to standard levels of stuns where you can frequently see stun 4, stun 5, stun 7. Being able to just trade this card for their stun 1 or stun 2 in this format of inches is going to be really important. So we're going to play 4 resistance here. We're not going to play Late Riser. The primary reason to play Late Riser is this enhance ability down at the bottom. But I don't think we're going to be leaning too heavy on the combo aspect of Aizawa, and it's got a +4 low block. I don't think this card is very good at all. Mediator, enhance, destroy your rival's attack, gets -3 speed. If you've played an action card this turn, draw 1 card. I think we play 4 of this. I like speed reduction, even if you have to destroy it. It gives you +1 on cards in hand. Do we play tape? I don't think we play tape, even though it does walk cards into a race as a Breaker 1 mid block. Alright, maybe I spoke too soon. So let's make note of tape here at a 2. And we definitely play Calling for Backup at a 4. This card's ridiculous. Even if you're just filtering 1 card defensively, 1 card is 1 card. If you've got a trash card in hand and you need to Hail Mary for a different card off the top, go for it. Or if you just need to draw an extra card on your attack, this can get you there. It's also great as a backup deadlock combination with Kirishima's 3 difficulty. And that's sort of going to hint at where I'm going with this deck. So to give you a rundown, they go into deadlock enhance, on flip 1 foundation. So just keep that in mind. When they're at deadlock, this will draw you a card on your offense every single turn if you sequence it properly, or filter you a card every single turn on defense. So it really lets you chew through your deck. Moving on to 2 difficulties here. We're not going to play Harden, it's fine, but we're definitely slamming 3 Night Watches into the deck. Again, I think this card is game-changing when you play it properly, but the big reason why we play Night Watch here is its interaction with Kirishima's 3 difficulty unique. So you play a combo attack. It resolves, whatever, they block it, they don't. You deadlock form, you turn this face down, you add that combo attack back to your hand. You play that combo attack again. You make the check for it again. Cool. Deadlock enhance. Unflip 1 foundation. Unflip Night Watch. Repeat until the opponent puts themselves out of deadlock. Repeat until the opponent dies, or repeat until you run out of cards in the deck, or until you run out of foundations to commit. This, if the opponent is in deadlock, kills them. I'd say about 95% of the time, unless something goes horrifically wrong. This is one of the best in games in the format, and whenever you are in Void, you are going to need to consider this package. Night Watch is great on its own if you can find reasons to cram a couple of erases in your deck, and the Void decks can always find a way to cram an erase or two, even if they're not Aizawa. And you're going to be playing Kirishima's 3 difficulty on all those symbols anyway, because that card's insane. So that interaction right there is one of the big reasons why I'm building this Aizawa deck. Think fast. Commit 1 foundation, change the zone of your attack. Fine, whatever. What's their plan? I don't think we're going to be playing this. We don't have the hand scope. We don't care about the momentum ability. Fulfilled my duty. Definitely going to pop this in at a 4. Destroy in this enhanced step. Great. Their setup attack doesn't set them up anymore. Their finisher doesn't finish you anymore. It just doesn't get the chance. Heroic Lineage. It's fine, I think, in this deck. We are going to be playing defensive a lot, so that -3 speed is important, but I don't think this is going to be necessary due to space concerns. Natural Leader, on the other hand, I definitely think we play 4 of this. We're probably going to be leaning towards Ida's Kicks as the bread and butter in the deck. It shuts off a problem enhance or a problem foundation when we need to shut it off. It's a +2 high block, so the block is great. It's just a versatile card, so we're going to pop 4 of that in there. So where does that leave us for deck size right now? That's 35 cards minus a character, 34 cards, so that gets us to 16 attacks. So let's probably set up 16, 17, and then find a foundation to cut if we want to play 50, and I think we probably do want to lean towards 50-ish cards, just because I like small decks. When you're in a small format, I firmly believe that you should play the smallest deck possible. You should just play your best cards. Now, in this game, and there has been some debate about this on Facebook, you can play a larger deck size in this game. It is not objectively terrible in a 50 card format to play 55 cards in this game, because you churn through your deck so fast. You draw up to your hand size every single turn. You make control checks off the top of your deck. 50 cards goes by very, very fast. And in characters like Todoroki or characters like Tokoyami, who want to keep their discard pile stocked so they have access to their dark shadows, or they can keep counting ranged attacks for their abilities like Todoroki does, I don't think it's out of the question to play, at least for Todoroki, 60, 65 card decks in this format. You want to be able to scale his damage boost ability up to +4, +5. It's one of the only ways he's going to get to kill you, is by stacking that large amount of damage on some of the throws that water has access to, or just making really, really long strings off of chaos with ranged, maybe meteor showers, or just playing his own stuff and drawing a bunch of cards and eventually just stunning them out. I'm just saying, do not dismiss the larger deck sizes out of hand until you have actually given it a whirl. Okay, thank you. So, onwards to the attack base here. Oh no, oh wait, no, it's because there's no difficulty at 2 attacks in the format. Let's get this pulled up here. Harden Chop, think it's a great card. Breaker 1, Punch, fine, but it's not going to be the synergies that we want, and that's going to be the same for all of Kirishima's stuff. I think Kirishima's stuff is great, but it's not going to be the synergies we want. Aizawa stuff, Binding Cloth Assault, fine. I don't exactly think this is the setup card that you want, and I don't think the combo ability is what you're going to want in this deck. One of the big things about combo attacks, and this is where they can really bog you down, is that if they don't really do anything by themselves as your first attack, the combo ability has to be really, really insane in order to justify playing it in your deck. I don't think Binding Cloth Assault gets there. I think it's too much of a tempo loss. Binding Cloth Capture, though, I think we played 2 of this card. It turns off problematic foundations when you need to turn it off. It discards a card from their hand if you're comboing it, but that's not what I'm primarily concerned about with Binding Cloth Capture here. What I am concerned about is that continuous ability at the top. If you have played an action this turn, this card gets -2 difficulty. So when they're in deadlock and you're looking to combo them out with Night Watch loops, you play this on a 5, you check your 5, cool. You play in a race. You just need to play in a race. And then you start doing your Night Watch loops. And Binding Cloth Capture is now on a 3 difficulty control check every single time you're control checking to play this card. So you can, if you construct your deck properly, you're literally never going to fail a control check for Binding Cloth Capture, because the lowest you can check is a 3. Now the opponent can interact with that by playing a breaker ability, but you sort of just shrug and slam Binding Cloth Capture into that breaker ability over and over and over again until their entire staging area is turned off because it's sealed, or they're just dead because you're sending 4 low 5s over and over and over again. So we're going to pop 2 in here. And then the next thing you're going to want to ask yourself is, what other combo attacks are we going to be playing to enable this Night Watch loop? Because you can't just get there on Binding Cloth Capture if you're only playing 2 of them. So based off of where I think we're going to be taking this deck, which is going to be the kick synergies out of Ida, just because his attacks are very, very efficient, I think we're going to be playing Binding Kick out of 4. It's a combo attack, it's fine, it swings for 7, but it does something when you're not comboing it. It forces the opponent to block, or else you get to draw a card. So we're going to put that in the deck at a 4. We're going to skip Expert Flurry here. The combo enhance is not great. You don't really care about controlling their momentum too much. +2 damage is fine as a setup, but we're going to have things like Recipro Extend, and our high blocks are already being covered by Binding Cloth Capture and what we can get off of Ida. We're going to ignore all of Hanta's stuff here. It's not what we're looking to do. So now into Ida stuff. Let's go ahead and slam 4 Recipro Extend in here. That card's great. Just draw a card. Love it. Finishers. A lot of the Ida or the Aizawa decks are playing Recipro Burst. I think since we have the backup kill condition of Binding Cloth Capture loops, I think we play 2 Recipro Bursts here. You only really need to resolve 1 if you're trying to kill them, so we're just going to play the 2. Blocks high, swings low, stuns them out, EX, great. We're going to play 4 Flying Thruster Kick. Get you 2 momentum when in deadlock, so if you're just going as a mini loop with 1 Night Watch, which you can't because it's not a combo ability, cut that out, Sam. And then how many engine rushes do we have access to here? Let's check deck size. We're at 51 cards already, but I think engine rush is just so good that we're going to play 3. And then we come up to deck. Let's take a look here. 19 attacks. That's going to be a little high. So what can we sort of cut to bring that low? Let's see. +1 mid. Extends a +3 mid, but extend is insane. Kick and capture are for the loops. And there are low blocks. Let's check blocks here. Stats. Yeah, we can't really afford to cut low blocks here, but we can maybe trim some mids. So I think we just trim 2 flying thruster kicks. Yeah, I think it's overall the weakest attack with what we're trying to accomplish here. And that brings us to 17, 38, or 48, 49, 50, 51, 52. So we would want to trim 1 card to get us down to that 50 plus character. Let's see here. Well, what's our mids like? Alright, so we could just cut the tapes. What are our gotcha synergies here? Committed during the enhanced step, attack gets +1 or -1 speed. So a big case here is that this is just a little bit of anti-stun technology. You can throw your gotchas away to their stun abilities, and this just gives passive -1 speed. So I got speed hate here. We got speed hate here. This is a complicated cut here. I don't think we actually need to trim anything if we're just looking for a rough deck list. Obviously, you'd want to test it. Maybe we'd be able to get away with, a mix of mediators and tapes here. So maybe just cut 2 mediators. But this is actually the list I would want to start at, just for testing. See what feels good. Maybe go up to 3 coordinated efforts so you can pull off your loops with Night Watch frequently, just on a more consistent basis. Unfortunately, there's no way to recur the foundations immediately. Momo can't do the loops herself because she can't play both Night Watch and coordinated effort based off symbol chaining, but I think this is, again, just a really solid starting point. So if you're looking to play a great little control deck that has some great attacks and the ability to just murder people as soon as they dare step into deadlock, and you will get free wins because people won't be aware of this interaction. I haven't seen it talked about yet, so hopefully, people were either sitting on this and I'm just putting the word out here. But think about it. Coordinated effort, Night Watch, Eraserhead. You don't have to worry about killing people. I mean, you certainly can kill people. I think this lineup's going to be great at it. But if you struggle, just bait them into deadlock and murder them from there. That's about all I got for you guys today. Enjoy the rest of your night. Brett out.